Hi, I'm Red. How are you on this fine day? Or maybe it's not so fine, but it'll get better when you listen to these /entitled parents stories. Read by Red. Let's get going. Entitled mother tries to get me arrested for taking my ADHD medicine. For context, I have ADHD. I take legally prescribed medicine for it. And if I forget to take it in the morning, I have a couple of doses in a pill bottle from an old fill in my car. It's important to take it daily as it works better more days I take it in a row, similar to some antidepressants. Each fill costs about $60 to $70, and I keep about a quarter of a fill in my emergency stash. So, it's the weekend and I have some plans to meet some friends at a local coffee shop. We have masks, outside seating, and sanitizer at the ready. This so happens to be a day where I forgot to take my medicine. We order our drinks and snacks, and after I put our order down at the table, I tell my friends I need to go take my meds. I go to my car and grab the bottle to bring back as I left my drink with my buddies. I get back, and as I pop a pill into my mouth and take a sip, a wild Karen appears. No haircut, but a 5-6-year-old kid in tow. She slaps the open pill bottle off the table and starts screaming about how I shouldn't do drugs, yada yada. She demands I apologize to her son for being such a bad influence and doing such sinful things in public. I try to explain that they are not narcotics but medicine for my ADHD. Then she phones the police. The police arrive and they get our stories. After getting witnesses, the police ask me for proof that these were my meds, which I provide. At this point, Karen is starting to sweat. She realizes that she screwed up and is now trying to backtrack out of the situation. The police ask me if I would like to press charges, as the meds in the bottle are now ruined. I say no, as I'm not about to spend court costs over $15. Karen is dealt with and we leave, one story to tell richer. Imagine having a mom like that. Hopefully the kid grows up realizing that mom is not an example to follow. Okay, and here is our next story. I'm a 23-year-old woman and my 45-year-old mother won't stop wearing my clothes. I don't understand if I'm a monster for feeling this way, but ever since I could fit into grown-up clothes, my mom has typically wanted to wear whatever I buy for myself. Sometimes new dresses that I've not even worn, she will casually roam around the house wearing them, knowing very well that the tags are not even off. After the pandemic, due to the weight I gained, I had to move up a size. So now everything is up for grabs. The clothes that we supposedly bought for Diwali, she has already worn hers to work. The festival is like 2 weeks away, whereas mine are still saved for the occasion. She asked me yesterday how I would wear them. They're spaghetti straps and she doesn't prefer them. Then when I answered, she asked me, I meant how will I wear it? You know I don't prefer such sleeves. She stretches out a good deal of my clothes and basically wears anything I buy for myself to work the very next day. Keep in mind that I'm home due to the pandemic and study from home right now. Her normal reaction to things which somehow don't end up fitting her is berating me for having terrible taste in clothes. Moreover, she always complains that she has nothing to wear when in fact her closet is twice as large and she wears everything she buys the very next day. I just save my clothes. And this has been the case for a really long time now. I have resorted to literally hiding new clothes. But for the festival, I really could not because I would have to wear those clothes in public. And she would get mad at me anyway if I sprung up new clothes out of nowhere and accuse me of hiding things. Anyway, is this normal? Is it normal for mums to have dibs on their daughter's clothes and for them to not even ask permission and assume everything their daughter buys for them to use and own? Am I a terrible selfish person for feeling crappy every time I see mother prancing around in a new skirt I didn't even get a chance to wear? Moreover, she knows I get annoyed by it, but say nothing, which is why she always mocks me whenever she does it. Asks dumb questions like, oh, how am I supposed to wear this? And then gets mad at me if I let the slightest annoyance show on my face. Yeah, that's not normal. I would not have stayed calm if my mom did the same thing to me. That is one entitled mother you've got there. Yep. I'm really sorry about that. That sucks. Okie dokie. Here is our last story for the day. Karen insults others for not being religious. Gets puked on by a crafty kid. If you're easily disgusted by nausea, this might not be the story for you. My aunt, we'll call her Karen here, seemed to have an obsession with virtue signalling. Growing up, she loved telling others how much better she was than everybody else. Her go-to points for this were being vegan and being Christian. This story is about the latter. Many Christmases, Aunt Karen would make a point to tell me and my dad what bad people we were for never being religious, like she was. We never went to church and my dad never made me take Sunday school. I remember Aunt Karen saying things like, "That's not going to get you to heaven, you know," or "It's called Christmas for a reason. There's no Santa Claus in the Bible." She made snide remarks when my cousins and I watched cartoons with Santa in them. At one point when I was a little older, she even said something to the effect of, "People who don't celebrate Christmas for anything other than Christ will go to hell." I don't know why my dad kept inviting her over. Something about Christmas makes people think they're obligated to be with toxic people only because they're family. One Christmas Eve, I was already in my moody, rebellious teen years, so I wasn't very merry to begin with. I dreaded having to spend another night with people that couldn't stand each other. Aunt Karen was especially snide this year, making comments like, "You wouldn't be so gloomy if you went to church for once," or "Kids today need the fear of God to straighten up. OP's sins are making him miserable." The last straw was when I heard Karen essentially tell my dad, "Your son will grow up to be a criminal if he's not taught about God and the Bible." I had enough of this lady being a witch every Christmas, so I hatched a plan to get her out of my dad's house. When I was a kid, I used to be lactose intolerant. My dad kept a jug of milk in the fridge to go with the Christmas cookies he bought for our relatives. When no one was looking, I drank a glass of milk in the kitchen and carried on like nothing had happened. After a while, I started feeling nauseous, but did my best to hide it. I made sure to stay near Aunt Karen whenever I could. Eventually, I started gagging, and then finally, I let out a projectile of white gunk and stomach acid on Aunt Karen. She screamed in horror about me being disgusting little brat and how her sparkling red dress was ruined. I pretended to cry and act remorseful, making my other relatives sympathize with me. My dad was frustrated that he had to clean the carpet and sent me to my room. I eavesdropped on Karen lashing out at my dad for getting puked on, and finally my dad seemed to get the hint that his sister shouldn't have been invited. He told her to leave, so she did with my cousins in tow. I got in trouble for not using the bathroom when I threw up, but I didn't care. Karen made Christmas miserable for me, my dad, and most likely my cousins, her kids. So I decided to return the favour. I thought I'd take this small victory to my grave until I discovered Reddit. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Okay, now it's time to like the video because I know you enjoyed those r/entitled parent stories read by Red. And also subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna read more stories and you're going to enjoy them. Or else. Thanks for watching today, guys. Have a great day.